right, joining me now for another edition of Know Your Knights is Knights forward for the NAHL, and that's Tyrone Bronte. And Tyrone, thanks for giving us a few minutes here after practice. We're working on a short week here, obviously. It's a Wednesday game coming up against the Philadelphia Rebels. But before we get into that, let's go over real quick the most recent news in terms of college commitments here for the Knights is your commitment to Bemidji State. Yep. I know we talked about it over the phone a while back and put an article up, but what stood out to you about the program, and what are you excited about moving forward when you do eventually end up going?
What stood out to me, obviously the facilities are top notch. You know, the rink's pretty much brand new. It seats a lot of fans. The locker room obviously is really nice, and the campus is right on the lake, which I think is pretty cool. It's cold there, but hopefully they'll be, freeze and be able to maybe even play some pond hockey and stuff like that. So we'll see. That'll be cool. I'm looking forward to. I already met some of the guys when I went and visited there, so it'll be cool to get to know a couple of those guys, and when I get there, then obviously get to see who I'm going to be playing with for the next 4 years, and yeah.
Sure. And coming over, you're from Australia. You've played here in the States for a couple of years, but what's that like? I mean, obviously, we've seen recently at the NHL level Nathan Walker with the Capitals making the Australian debut in the NHL and scoring a goal not too long ago. But what's that like? I mean, honestly, we see a lot of imports coming in. We've seen them in this team and, of course, in the NAHL in the last few years. But just what's been the adjustment? Not just with us, but also with your prior teams, and what do you like about playing here in the States?
Well, for starters, to answer your question about adjusting,
sure.
I came over I played a couple of years in Canada, and then transitioned to America, and I wasn't completely comfortable playing in the States. This was 2 years ago, and my coach actually down in Lansing, Michigan, really was hard on me. He told me he saw talent. He thinks I could play hockey and all that, but he really tried to get me to adjust to the American. And he would say that almost every practice, like welcome to America, And he'd emphasize the fact that it's different hockey. It's fast, it's hard, physical. You have to work hard every day. So that's what I did, and that's how he coached. And I think that really helped me adjust, because the following year I did pretty well with points. I ended up tendering to the Knights. Had a pretty good year, and now coming into this league, I feel like I wasn't sure how I'd adjust, but I felt pretty comfortable. I felt like I didn't have to adjust too much.
Right.
So I'm thankful that I've had coaches and teams that have been able to help me do that.
Now with this year, I mean, obviously you've played a big part in the Knights lineup. You've seen you with different wingers throughout the year, but what do you feel is the best way to describe your game? I know we ask just about everybody who comes in here the same question, but how would you describe yourself and your style of play?
My style of play, I tend to have the puck a lot. And I'm not saying I'll just hold on to it. I'll always be open, but I like to get the puck and try and set up my teammates.
Sure.
I don't think I've had a season in hockey where I've had more goals than assists. So I'm more of but I try to obviously always practice scoring goals, because that's still obviously important. So I do like to score, but I think setting my line mates up is also a huge part of my game.
Sure. Now this week we touched on it just at the beginning, but you have the Philadelphia Rebels coming in Wednesday first, and then again on the weekend after Thanksgiving. But just in general. This East Division this year has been extremely competitive. You guys just came off 4 straight games against the Tomahawks, who are in last place in this division, obviously. Played some good games. But, with the Rebels coming in, what do you guys want to see, or what do you want to see from this past week and a half or so of hockey change going into the game against the Rebels, who are, a team right behind you guys in the standings?
Right. They're obviously a good team. We got to look at how they play compared to how Johnstown play and try and adjust that way. I don't think we have to change too much, other than we need to start on our odd man rushes, 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s. We need to start scoring more, because we got shut out one game in Johnstown, and then we only had one goal in our loss against Johnstown here the other day. So definitely scoring more goals, and that's something that we can do.
Sure.
We've shown that we can score goals, so I don't think that'll be too much of an issue. Just lines change a lot, and that's just, however, like, just depending on who's playing, how they, So we're going to have to get used to playing with everyone, but that coach does a good job of getting us to know how to play with everyone in practice, and we all do that. So I think we'll be okay as long as we can put the puck in the net. We're usually pretty good at stopping them. Our goalies are solid. Defense is solid too. So
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Well, with that, we'll flip it over and we do our rapid fire again. I think I have to rename that because the questions are thought provoking.
Okay.
We're trying to make it thought provoking, but we'll start with this one because I mentioned Nathan Walker earlier.
Yeah.
Was one of the first Australian to make his debut in the NHL. But I would imagine that you had heard of him before. But with him in consideration, is he a guy that you've looked up to, or is there someone else in the NHL that you really try to model yourself after?
I did know of Nathan Walker, but I wasn't like completely. I didn't know that he was drafted in the NHL, and I knew that he was popular in Australia. I knew that, but hockey's not big in Australia, so word wouldn't really go around. So for me, he wasn't someone I'd look up to because I didn't really know too much about him.
Gotcha.
I did look up to, I had childhood favorite player was always Alexander Ovechkin.
Okay, yeah.
Goal scorer, kind of, I liked him. I can't really.
Okay. Yeah, Ovechkin. Okay. I'm curious, just with your, being from Australia, would you be able to see games? Is it on the delay? I know you guys are quite a ways ahead of us in terms of time zone.
Right.
But, how would you get your hockey? How would you see it?
They wouldn't be on regular channels. You can, I think you can pay for extra channels. You might be able to watch a game 4 o'clock in the morning or something like that. Just social media, I guess, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you can do to watch some hockey. And I don't know, I did a little bit, but I didn't follow it too much. And now coming over here and watching it every night, it's really cool.
Sure, gotcha. If you could bring one thing from home here, whether it's food, whether it's just something from Australia, from home that makes you feel more comfortable here, what would it be?
Well, that's an easy one for me. I'd probably bring my family, my parents, and my brother. I mean, my brother's in Canada, but I'd love to see my family over here. It's hard being away from them a lot.
Sure.
So my parents would show up, but there's some other things as well. I'd like a beach. I mean, obviously there's beaches here, but right here in Pennsylvania, it would be nice. The nice weather, nice sun, beach, and yeah. Yeah,
I was gonna say, bring some of the warm weather right now. We're hitting winter pretty hard, pretty quick. Okay. We've asked a couple of your other teammates about this, but with the playlist, we seem to be having a little bit of a rotation of music lately.
Right.
But if you could pick one song to play after you guys score, what would your choice be? That's a tough one.
Tough one. Jeez. I don't know. You know what? I kind of like. I'm not a huge rock guy, but AC/DC, since they're Australian.
Yeah.
Maybe a song like Hell's Bells or something like that.
I gotta respect that.
A little song like that, could.
AC/DC, one of the greats, absolutely. We this is again something we've asked a fair amount, and I think this year it's a really decent question because in past years we've had the same answer over and over again. But if you were to put this team, your current team, into the NHL video game,
right,
and you get to rate all the players, who would you put at the top of that list on your roster?
As like a rating?
Yeah.
I'd say Jack Olmstead probably.
Okay.
Yeah, he'd be high 90s, mid 90s.
Okay.
Depending on how high they let you go.
Right.
We have some skilled guys, so Reed Robinson would be up there too.
Okay, gotcha. Where would you put yourself?
Myself?
Yeah. I know, I was putting you on the spot a little bit.
No, that's fine. Let's say if Jack was a 95, maybe a 91, 92.
Okay. I think that's right. I think you're right on the
But I mean, obviously, compared to the other guys, we wouldn't be 90s, we'd be lower. But
I'm in this universe, you guys are in the NHL.
Right.
For all
no,
intents and purposes. All right. We'll do two more here. again, we've asked this. There have been some recent changes out there in the parking lot with just some transactions of late. But you pull into the parking lot here, and there's a lot of interesting vehicles out there. Who would you say has the best set of wheels on this team?
Mike Gillette has a nice Jeep.
Does he?
I like that.
Okay.
Everyone's proud of their cars. So personally, I don't have a car, so that's yeah. No, I do like Jeeps. So off the top of my head, I'd probably say Mike Gillette's car. Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha. All right, then we'll round it on this one. What would you say is and this is a tough question because there's probably a lot of different options here for you. But what would you say is your favorite memory playing hockey?
Favorite memory playing hockey.
It's a lot to think about. I know it's a tough one.
Well, I mean, past 2 years in AAA and in Lansing, we made it to the league championships 2 years in a row.
Sure.
Unfortunately, it was the same result. We lost in the championship. So I mean, it's a good memory to be able to get that far, but it's annoying that we didn't win.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, just experiences like that with the guys. It's
making deep playoff runs.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Well, hopefully that continues here in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton.
I'm sure it will too. Yeah.
Well, you can catch Tyrone and the Knights in action on Wednesday. They'll take on the Philadelphia Rebels at 2:30 p.m. and then they'll be back at it on Saturday and Sunday against the Rebels again. You can check www.wbsknights.com for all Knights info and updates, as well as Knights social media on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. But Tyrone, thank you here for giving us a couple minutes, and we look forward to seeing you out there this week.
Thank you very much.